Hello, my name is H.A. Park, and this is, I believe, I always forget, week 6 or 7. I think it's week 7 um, of Computer Science 142, Intro to Java. This week we had the Revel assignments, and then we had the project, and that's pretty much it for new material this week. So this week it's all about methods, specifically static methods, and the multiple different types of methods, how we can use them, how we can call them to use them for different functions, and that's pretty much it. So basically, something we've all been using, or something we've been using all quarter already, is the main method, which the header has public static void, and then main, and in parentheses string, arguments. So basically, what it's saying is that, so the public and static, it's we didn't really get too much into it, but a lot of the methods that we used did have those already. But the fact that it said void means that, so basically methods are supposed to return a value, but if it has the void keyword, then it won't return a value, as have most of our programs throughout this quarter. So our main method usually is just for execution of our code, and that's why it's void. It doesn't need to return anything because it's going to function whenever it functions, and that's pretty much it. And just execute the code. But this week, we got into the other types of methods specific that aren't void and actually return a value. These are like they could be like double. It could return a double. It could return a string. It could return a character, so on and so forth. And so in that case, you would write public static like double, and then let's say the method was called like future investment, for example, and then we'd have parentheses and the arguments inside. That would return a value at the end, in which case we'd have to say return value, and that value would have to match the type of character that it needs to return, which in this case would be double. And then talk about arguments. So when we did methods this chapter, we had different arguments that we could input, and basically what it does is when you call the method, which is like accessing or using the method, you need to have in parentheses the arguments that it calls for, and then once you have those arguments, it'll function its code inside the method, and then with those numbers, and then output an answer and return a value for you. And so basically how you call a function is you, let's say like it's the future investment one, we can say, let's say like future investment, or we're trying to find investment in 5 years, we would say like double investment in 5 years equals, and then we function future investment, and then parentheses, and have the arguments, and then that would return a value, just like how if assigning an integer to, assigning a variable to the number 3 is assigning a value. That's doing the same thing, returning the same value. Something interesting I also learned is that a lot of the things that lines of code that we do are actually methods, such as the system.out.println. That's actually a void method. It doesn't return anything, but it's a method because it actually executes something. So that was something that I found very interesting. For our project, it was just one of the Revel assignments. It was making the future investment, and it was a little rough trying to communicate with my partners this week because they're a bit unresponsive, or I guess there were just some communication issues, but we got it done and it went pretty smoothly, so I'm not too worried about that. The videos were very helpful as always. I feel like this chapter really made a lot of sense to me, so I didn't really need too much clarification with the videos. But overall, yeah, we basically just talked about methods, especially non-void methods, and how they return values so we can use them. Thank you for listening.